How different is making lechon in Puerto Rico compared to here in New York City, since you can't cook it outside?
Today, I'm on a mission to explore 3 sides of Puerto Rican food, from the affordable, cooked up by a former construction worker,
If you got 10 bucks, you could come here and you can get full.
Ready to keep going for the rest of the day.
to lechon made by a machete-wielding madman.
They called you the Lechon King of the South Bronx.
Yes.
What'd you think when you saw that? Did you like that?
Oh, yeah.
And by the end of this video, you'll see a rare sight. Puerto Rican food turned fine dining.
Is there a conflict in the statement saying Puerto Rican is humble food, but I'm gonna make a $100 plate of Puerto Rican food?
That's true.
But first, something much more affordable.
This is gonna be my first taste of Puerto Rican food ever here in New York City.
Once you have this dish, I bet you're gonna come back again one of these days.
Danny runs a Puerto Rican spot in the heart of the Bronx. Just north of Manhattan, the Bronx feels like a second Puerto Rico, with more than 16% of New York City's Puerto Rican population.
We're gonna talk more about your food here, but first I wanna ask you, what do you think makes good Puerto Rican food?
When you have somebody sitting down in here and start crying and say, oh, you remind me of my grandmother, you remind me of my grandfather, that's when you know you have good Puerto Rican food.
Food that literally makes you cry.
That's what it is.
My mom makes a mean tater tot hot dish. The only way it would ever make me cry is if she put broken glass in it.
Today I'm gonna hunt down 3 different Puerto Rican dishes with 3 vastly different price tags.
What would you think if somebody tried to sell you a plate of Puerto Rican food for $100?
It's not Puerto Rican. Puerto Rican is when you go and you bring fresh to the table, something that everybody could afford. We have a lot of food, not expensive. I don't think expensive food make a Puerto Rican food.
I want to disagree with Danny, but if you look around New York City, you won't find any Puerto Rican fine dining establishments. I aim to find out why by the end of this video, as a Puerto Rican chef prepares us an elevated Puerto Rican meal in a private restaurant. But first, that liver stew with its seductive price tag.
What is it that you like about this dish? Because liver, for a lot of Americans, it kind of turns them off.
We learned that from the people that came from Europe. There was a waste of food. They say, oh, let's start cooking the organs, the tribes, the liver. They started trying different dishes with different ingredients. And the liver, it was the one that stand up a lot. You get minerals, proteins, and vitamins. Those are the 3 main things that your body needs.
In a pot, heat oil and stir in sugar, chicken flavoring, powdered garlic, cumin, oregano, black pepper, adobo, onion powder, and the beef liver. This recipe came to New York with Danny's family 40 years ago.
To tell you the truth, what brought me over here to New York is the economical position in Puerto Rico. We couldn't find work in Puerto Rico. So I was like, damn, I could make a lot of money in New York. And I was always thinking of coming to New York.
Next, add a Puerto Rican cooking base coming originally from Spain. After that, minced garlic.
Can you tell me about what is the concept of this place? Because when you come in here, it's a lot of already made food. You can point to it. You can say, I want some of that. I want some of that.
This is food that reminds you of your parents, of your grandparents in Puerto Rico. I got anything from $5 to $24. Something that everybody could afford. Because remember, I don't think expensive food make a Puerto Rican food.
Next comes cilantro, culantro, onions, bell peppers, potatoes, and carrots. Stir in tomato sauce, a splash of water, and cooking wine. Then let it simmer, low and slow, until the liver turns tender and the vegetables soak up those rich flavors.
A big plate of food, $7.
I think that's cheaper than a ticket for the subway, right?
Super affordable.
Welcome back, my Cuban friend Oro. Back in the day, we toured Cuba together. Then we explored the food scene in Puerto Rico.
Here in Puerto Rico, we love pork.
Puerto Rico.
Pork.
What was your big takeaway about Puerto Rican food after staying there for a whole week, eating everything from the mountains to the ocean?
I think there is a Latin saying that love enters from the kitchen. I really felt that in Puerto Rico. Food is not just food. Food is pride. Food is love. And food also is the way that they connect.
I should be clear, you are not Puerto Rican, you're Cuban.
But I'm a Puerto Rican primo, which means cousin. So I'm close enough to a Puerto Rican to be experiencing them.
And that's what I said. I said, Oro, come be on this episode. Close enough.
Yes.
So right here we have a chicken gizzard salad.
It's called escabeche. It's kind of like a Puerto Rican version of a ceviche because it's sour and it also has its own adobo.
It does look kind of like a ceviche, although the chicken does look cooked. Thank God.
Man, that's really good.
Sour and oily, but it's really a treasure trove of textures. You got this banana, almost crunchy. Meanwhile, the gizzards are so dense. It's just like a really chewy meat.
This is kind of addictive, bro.
I like it a lot. I wanted to include Puerto Ricans in this series because there's such a prominent Puerto Rican population in this city.
Puerto Rican communities can be found all over the USA, but most are centered in Florida and New York City. In fact, there are about 5.8 million Puerto Ricans living on the mainland, more than the 3.2 million that still live on the island itself.
A lot of the people that left the island, they come here first, which is the Bronx.
This neighborhood is interesting because it's peppered with so many different cultures, but if you keep an eye out, you're always going to find that Puerto Rican flag.
Yes.
And if you follow those symbols, it will lead you to a place like this where you can try our next food right here. It looks like they've really taken some time, some love, and appreciation, and they poured that into the beef liver. But let's find out.
Man.
It's not off-putting, it's not gaming. Of course, it's delivery. I mean, it does taste like liver, but they've dressed it up pretty well. The stew around it, it's savory, it tastes nourishing. There's carrots inside. You can mix that with some rice, mix it with some beans. You like it?
I love it.
Really?
Yeah, man. I don't know about the rest of the food that we're trying, but I would pair more for this liver. This is an elevated liver right there.
Really?
Odd choice for breakfast, though. This is like a packed breakfast.
This is the breakfast of champions right here.
Yeah.
Liver in the morning? Are you kidding?
Never tried that.
Later today, I'll be trying a Puerto Rican dish that costs over $100, something that's rare to find in New York City.
How does that work? Is there a conflict in the statement saying Puerto Rican is humble food, but I'm going to make a $100 plate of Puerto Rican food?
But first, the most iconic Puerto Rican protein, lechon. Only instead of roasting outside over charcoal, somehow one man has found a way to roast up a pig right on the sidewalks of New York City.
I can't help but notice you're holding a giant machete in your hand right now.
Oh yeah, this is my tradition.
For the past 25 years, Piranha has been serving up Puerto Rican lechon from his food truck in the South Bronx.
I cut the pork with this. Now basically I do everything with this.
Do you ever have to use that for self-defense?
Ain't got no.
Born and raised in Puerto Rico, he moved to the USA as a teenager, and now he's nothing short of a local legend. He's even had his own feature, where he was crowned Lechon King of the South Bronx.
Did they give you that title, or did you already have that title?
No, they gave me that title.
So what'd you think when you saw that? You like that?
Oh yeah.
I mean, who doesn't want to be a king?
That's not bad, yeah, that's not bad.
Especially in Puerto Rico, lechon is king there.
Uh-huh.
The king of foods, the king of proteins.
Yes.
Lechon isn't just food, it's a celebration, something meant to be shared, the centerpiece of a community feast. If you're on the island, it means roasting up a whole pig. But here, things run a little differently.
Over there, you can do it outside. You can smoke, you can put wood, fire, nobody can say nothing. In New York City, you cannot be smoking, you know. That's why I got my own oven and I slow cook.
And all that goes into an oven.
To the oven, 300 pounds at one time.
Piranha's Lechon is a weekend-only operation, but to have it ready by lunchtime, the work starts the night before.
You see that hole? You rub it with your hands, and then you go inside like that, and then you flip it over, and then you go every hose again. And you gotta love what you're doing, you know what I'm saying?
First, the marinade, starting with vinegar rubbed over the entire pig.
The vinegar is the main thing because they kill all the bacteria and make it tender.
Next, a generous coat of Piranha's secret homemade seasoning blend.
This is authentic old school seasoning. My grandmother let me how to do that.
Vou de papo reto que a vida é passageira.
Making lechon, it's very labor intensive. You're aiming to get this ready for lunchtime.
Yes.
But you started this morning.
3 o'clock in the morning, I start.
That's tough. I mean, do people here realize all the love and time and work that goes into making the lechon?
I love cooking. That's how I grew up. Every weekend, everybody coming from all over the world to see me. That's love and respect. Money cannot buy that. That's my reps. And that made me keep going and cook better.
And cook better.
Every day. That's the leg, and then I put it over here in the tray like this. Put it over here and going in. Now we're gonna do the ribs.
Piranha has been doing this for 25 years.
This is the pork we made yesterday. Now it's not salty like I started yesterday because all the salt come out.
Fixing air conditioning units by day and satisfying his love for Puerto Rico with his weekend lechon offering.
You came here about 40 years ago, you said?
40 years ago.
Why did you move from Puerto Rico to New York in the first place?
To do better and get different life because Puerto Rico back then not too much money in that time. I said let me go to New York and do better, and I try and I like it. I bring my recipes from over there, with my mommy and my papa, to New York City, and we started little by little.
Mr. Piranha, your story is amazing. I can't wait to try your lechon. Let's do this.
Let's do it, yes.
Filming Puerto Rican food in New York teaches you one thing: price doesn't pick the winner. Every plate has something to prove, and you never really know which one's gonna come out on top. You take your shot, trust your gut, and wait for that first bite to tell you if you called it right. It's the same reason I love sports: the risk, the reward, the rush when it pays off. That's why I've partnered with DraftKings Sportsbook, the sponsor of today's video.
DraftKings Sportsbook is where fans turn instinct into action. You can bet on games, player performances, and live moments as they happen, all in one place. And with basketball season heating up, there's no better time to get in on it. The rivalries, the clutch shots, the underdogs that change everything. It's about to get wild. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Plus, 3 whole months of NBA League Pass. That's less than what we spend on coffee between shoots. Just sign up using promo code SUNNY. You can use those bonus bets on same-game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. Or keep the excitement going with live betting as the games unfold. And if sports betting isn't available where you are, you can still join the action with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Sports and compete for cash prizes. If you love the rush of trusting your gut and seeing it pay off, just like chasing that next great meal, then this is it. Sign up now using promo code SUNNY. The crown is yours. Now, back to the show.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Oh, man.
Right?
It's 1:12 p.m. People are ready for lunch. They're
Yeah.
excited. There are
Yeah.
people who are here 2 hours ago, and they're lining up for this moment that I just experienced here. Juicy lechon, crunchy skin. Amazing.
From de la piraña.
La piranha.
Yeah.
How long does it take you to sell out? 1 hour?
1 hour.
Oh, man. 9 hours of preparation, 1 hour to sell out. Let's get it.
Lechon goes with just about anything, but here it's plated with rice and pigeon peas, a bright octopus salad, coconut shrimp, and boiled banana. For the final touch, a drizzle of garlic butter and hot sauce for a little fire. If Puerto Rico could be summed up in one dish, this would be it.
Maria?
Hey.
Your shirt says Puerto Rico,
Yes.
but I'm not convinced. Are you really Puerto Rican?
Yes, I am.
Maria runs Mia's Cochina, a Puerto Rican restaurant in New York City's Lower East Side. Everything she knows was passed down from her grandmother, and now it's about to be passed down to me.
This rice is the national dish of Puerto Rico. It's called arroz con gandules, using the lard from the lechon and boiling it with the annatto seed to create that beautiful annatto oil. That's what was used.
That's nice. Nicely cooked rice. It's very moist.
I also can feel the garlic.
That is delicious. On top of that rice, he was calling it an octopus salad. Do you know what's in the octopus salad?
Octopus.
I think mainly.
Made with red and green bell peppers, onions, boiled octopus, Spanish salad olives, salt, and a drizzle of olive oil. Mix it all together, and you've got the perfect crunchy sidekick to tender lechon.
Amazing, delicious, firm octopus.
I like that it has a lot of pepper also. I think it really complements the texture of the octopus.
On top of everything right here, we have a banana.
You could just eat the banana just like that.
That's nice. It is slightly sweet, super starchy, and then just drenched in that garlic sauce.
It's really good.
At last, we built up to this right here. Folks in Puerto Rico, or as I call it, Puerto Rico, they love pork. Why do people love pork so much in Puerto Rico?
There was no large game on the island of Puerto Rico until the Europeans came over, and then that's when they brought over the pig. The pig was the first animal to acclimate to the island so well. That's why it is the meat of choice for Puerto Ricans.
Oh my Lord.
Oh man.
The seasoning blend he's put on here is delicious. It's salty, it's peppery, you're getting the actual savory seasoning flavors, plus a little bit of sourness too.
I like the balance between the softness of the interior and the crunchiness of the side.
That was good.
Really good.
It's crunchy, it has that delicious kind of hammy flavor to it.
I feel my cholesterol going up as I bite.
Anything in moderation is okay.
Have you been here before to eat?
I haven't.
So how do you feel when you come to a place like that? You've got this guy from Puerto Rico, repping Puerto Rico, cooking the Puerto Rican food.
It's phenomenal because this is exactly what you would experience if you were on the island of Puerto Rico. If you're driving down a highway, all of a sudden, bam, you'll see a tent just like that, and you'll see a jibaro just like him standing there with a machete, hitting the lechon and serving up delicious food. And that's what he's providing to everybody here who cannot make it back home.
When did Puerto Rico become part of the USA?
In 1898, I believe, during the Spanish-American War. Once it became part of the U.S., anyone born on the island was a U.S. citizen. There was a great migration between the 40s and the 60s. That's when everybody started to come.
Can you talk a little bit about why so many Puerto Ricans came to New York?
There was just no work. There was nothing out there. So people started to migrate and look for places to go. Exactly what happened in my family. My grandfather came first, then my grandmother. But prior to him, there were aunts and uncles who had come, provided a landing spot for you.
You know, it's interesting. The reason I brought Oro with me today is because we explored and learned about Puerto Rico together. We went all throughout the island and we tried everything. And it makes me reminisce about our time there, but it also feels like something new. And somehow it feels like the best of both worlds between Puerto Rico and America. But Oro, we have one more level of Puerto Rican food.
Let's do it. I'm ready for it.
From Sidewalk Lechon, we're moving on to our most expensive dish of the day. But there's a problem. Puerto Rican fine dining isn't really a thing in New York City. So instead, we booked a private kitchen and a Puerto Rican chef. And we'll need both to pull off an elevated Puerto Rican plate that costs $100.
Jonah?
Nice to meet you.
Soon, you're going to be telling me how you're going to be preparing perhaps the most expensive Puerto Rican dish New York City has ever seen. But first, I want to learn about you.
Born and raised in Puerto Rico, Jonah has been calling New York home for almost 10 years.
I work in many restaurants in the city. It took me like 6-7 years before I got my first sous chef job. After that, I will keep going and going until I land what I'm right now as a head chef of a Michelin star restaurant.
Today, you're making a very expensive plate of Puerto Rican food. What makes it expensive when it comes to the ingredients?
We're working with a spiny lobster. Grow in the Caribbean. We're using sea urchin. That will be on the broth. We're using breadfruit, and then we serve with modern version of canela porchetta.
Today, he's not trying to reinvent a Puerto Rican classic. Instead, he's taking the soul of the island, its ingredients, its cooking techniques, and weaving them into something entirely different. I'm talking about surf and turf.
Today we're going to do our Puerto Rican surf and turf. We're going to start with the longaniza part. Season this ground pork with a little salt. We're going to also do sofrito. This is the key of the Puerto Rican cuisine. So every dish that you cook in Puerto Rico, it got this. Made from the peppers that locally grow over there, our culantro, onions, and garlic. A pinch of cumin, a cup of annatto oil, lobster meat, and we're gonna add our culantro. Traditionally, longaniza is made from pork or chicken, but in this case, we're adding a little lobster just to make it like a little more expensive on the dish. We're gonna take this longaniza and we're gonna flatten it out, put a pork loin in the middle, and then we're gonna cover that pork loin with longaniza.
I have to get your point of view as a chef. For you, what makes good Puerto Rican food?
I think good Puerto Rican food, it can be like very humble. We as a Puerto Ricans like sit down on the table and share that. That's what it makes it like very special.
The sausage gets vacuum sealed, cooked sous vide for 2 hours, then seared in a hot pan until the outside develops a beautiful crust.
You're talking about Puerto Rican food, and you keep mentioning it's humble. Meanwhile, today you're making a very expensive plate of Puerto Rican food, a plate that costs over $100.
He brushes the pork with a rum glaze, then rolls it in crispy chicharron.
Is there a conflict in the statement saying Puerto Rican is humble food, but I'm gonna make a $100 plate of Puerto Rican food?
Now that the turf portion of the dish is complete, we're moving on to the surf. First, melt butter in a hot pan, then add Caribbean spiny lobster tails. Hit it with a touch of chili powder, then finish with a squeeze of lemon.
The idea behind the dish is how much it costs you actually like here in New York. Normal lobster in Puerto Rico probably could be $25, $30 a pound, but over here we're paying $55 a pound.
Oof.
My mission for this dish, it was basically try to create something that represents us with all the ingredients that grew up in the island, that you can find it locally in New York, and just create something that is not completely traditional, so don't disrespect the humble dishes, but elevating with the technique.
Now comes the build. A medallion of longaniza, a mound of mofongo on the side, topped with a lobster tail. Spoon sea urchin sauce over the lobster. Garnish with cilantro, drizzle some olive oil, and finish with a touch of salt. At $100, it's a beauty. But is it still Puerto Rican?
I don't think expensive food make a Puerto Rican food.
Danny from this morning might say no. But how about these two?
This is a fancy meal. So, you brought the wine,
And then I brought this.
It's a fox.
But it's real.
That's what my grandmother would wear out to like a fancy restaurant back in the day.
Joining the table, Ronnie and Kathleen, the owners of this private kitchen known as Chef's Dinner Table.
Are you from the island of Puerto Rico?
My parents were both born and raised there, although I personally was born in Miami.
Kathleen,
Yes.
you are a writer. You've covered a range of cultural topics, including Puerto Rican cuisine. What is your connection to Puerto Rican cuisine?
I fell in love with Puerto Rican cuisine right around the time that I fell in love with this guy. His whole family are still there. We visit very often, and whenever we visit, I have a rampage of eating.
The reason we're at your private kitchen here is because there are no fine dining Puerto Rican restaurants in New York City.
Correct.
Why do you think that is?
Because Puerto Rican food traditionally been food that comes from the land. In Puerto Rico, if you go and have a very expensive meal, there's likely going to be a lot of imported elements. Pork, on the other hand, is very Puerto Rican. And lobsters, they live in the water just around us. However, here in New York City, to get a Caribbean lobster, it got to be quite expensive. Surf and turf is something that we've known forever and ever, but it's usually beef. Chef Jonah has put in a Puerto Rican twist to it by using pork.
Wow, so lovely.
Oh my God. Ooh, the flavor on the outside really pops. The inside, the tenderloin, it's meaty, it's soft enough, super delicious.
It's interesting because I feel that you go to Puerto Rico and you get the lechon with a piece of chicharron. This is like a reinterpretation where they take all the elements out and they put it back in a different way.
From here, we're building up to the lobster, but it's on a bed of mofongo. Do we eat it together?
He actually literally elevated the lobster.
Yeah.
I see what you did there. The mofongo, which is traditionally a plantain dish, this one is made with breadfruit. One of the interesting elements of Puerto Rican culture is that it combines European, African, and the indigenous people. Those three have melded together to produce a lot of things that are distinctly Puerto Rican.
It's phenomenal.
I love the nuttiness of the mofongo.
Wow, what a great flavor that is. And the lobster is perfectly cooked. It's nice and soft and it pairs perfectly with the mofongo underneath. I mean, how would you describe the flavor of the mofongo?
Mofongo sometimes can be very kind of stiff and super starchy. This is just in between that's like soft and rich.
We all agree this is delicious. It's outstanding. But one question remains, is this Puerto Rican food? I live in Vietnam. Pho is a humble street food dish that can cost, $3. Outstanding and better than any place here in New York City. Meanwhile, I've worked with chefs in Vietnam who elevated that dish to something that cost $170. Now, some people look at that and say, that's not Vietnamese food. Other people think food is freedom. Your imagination should be the limit. So where do you guys land? Should we be elevating Puerto Rican food or should it always remain humble?
I think that there's room for everything. I am the first person in line for a lechon, beautiful crispy skin, and I'm also first in line for this. I like options.
Equally, I would say this is Puerto Rican ingredients made by a Puerto Rican, so it's in the States. Nevertheless, it remains with its Puerto Rican identity.
What would either of you say to Chef Danny then?
Maybe put a blindfold on Danny.
Sure.
And say, does this taste Puerto Rican to you? Does it smell Puerto Rican to you?
We gotta bring him a plate. Is he still open?
The culinary scene in Puerto Rico has grown tremendously, and the chefs have really embraced local ingredients. And there are so many chefs there now who are championing Puerto Rican ingredients.
And furthermore, the James Beard Foundation has recognized Puerto Rican chefs worthy national acclaimed chefs. Those are developments that have put Puerto Rican food at the forefront of international cuisine.
Oro, thank you for joining me here in New York City. Ronnie, Kathleen, thank you so much for having us here today. Now I have a tough decision to make. I'm gonna go and decide which of these 3 levels of Puerto Rican food gave me the most bang for my buck. Today I ate Puerto Rican food at 3 different levels. Very affordable, very mid-priced, and very expensive. If I had to choose one, it would be the mid-price location. Lechon served by La Piranha. $30. And that $30 gets you about 2 pounds of food and 1 pound of meat. That meat was delicious. It was juicy, and on the outside, that chicharron, very crunchy, very satisfying. Beyond the lechon, that place was an experience. Hundreds of people were waiting in line, watching this madman under a tent with a machete chopping up pieces of lechon so loudly it could burst your eardrums. But that's just my opinion. Guys, let me know what you think downstairs in the comments down below. Which of the foods from this video do you wish you could try? Otherwise, that is it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.